it would be smart for me to look at the text line, but it's Monday, and I want to give it out again. The Ag Up Equipment text line is 601-885-3776. Mississippi State coming off winning the series at Vanderbilt. Now, I may have missed one, but I think that's 3 series wins over Vanderbilt since 2018. Now, they went on the road and won a super regional up there with Jake Mangum. They beat them in the National Championship Series in 21, as y'all know, and they just beat them yesterday in Nashville. So 2 of 3 in Nashville and 1 in Omaha. Yeah. Tim Corbin, Vanderbilt Commodores, 2-time national champs. Did I miss I don't think I missed a national championship. Sorry, I don't have that written down in front of me. But played for it at least one other time, if not, no, twice, right? That they lost to Mississippi State and Florida, maybe? Or did Florida beat? Anyway, they played a lot for it. They've been kind of the premier program for the last decade. And Mississippi State goes up there and takes 2 of 3. And got some hella pitching performances. And then clutch hitting, both with 2 strikes and 2 outs, which is what you got to do. Is the formula kind of to find a pitcher that's dealing for about 6 batters, and then for your guys at the plate to be able to hit with 2 strikes, and then if not 2 strikes, sometimes both, 2 strikes and 2 outs? I mean, in this league where it's so difficult to do anything, is that kind of, if we just want to simplify this thing, you find a pitcher who can deal for 6 batters. If you can get him up to 8, that's huge. Before maybe you're either figured out or things go sideways. And then can you hit with 2 strikes? Obviously with runners on, we know that. But then can you also hit with 2 outs? We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We're brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Go local, go with the home team, as Jake Mangum likes to tell us. And favorites.com, bundle your car and home and save with your Farm Bureau Insurance agent in any of the 82 counties in Mississippi. And there are plenty of Farm Bureau insurance agents attending Southern Miss baseball games, Ole Miss baseball games, Mississippi State baseball games, Delta State, and so on. So favorites.com, F-A-V-E, favorites.com. Jake Gautreaux will join us at 8:30 on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Jake started, this is weird. I thought about this yesterday when I was texting back and forth to get him on at 8:30, Jackson. You were actually with me during this time, full time. Gautreaux started joining us in the season of 2018 when Canizero was let go. Gary Henderson took over, and Henderson and Gautreaux and Mangum and that group came back from being, I think they were 7-14 in conference play and ended up making the College World Series.
Yeah. I forgot all of, yeah. He's been there since then.
And he became a fan favorite, but he was jumping on the show a lot with us and very engaging. Former first-round pick for the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
Was on that Tulane College World Series team in 2001 under Rick Jones. Rick Jones gave me a tour of the new Tulane baseball stadium in 2000. And Jackson, do you mind typing in who the athletic director was for Tulane in 2006? I had lunch with him. There was a Mississippi company that owned a space right there in the warehouse district. And at that time, they were competing with Trump to get their building out of the ground. This is pre-08. 08 kind of delayed things. They were going to build condos. And so I went down and met with Rick. What was Rick's last name? It's not Rick Trickett, because that's a former offensive line coach at Mississippi State, Florida State, and so on. But anyway, Tulane athletic director in 2006, 2007. And super, super nice guy. When I walk in the Tulane building, he's got on Birkenstocks, shorts, and a golf shirt.
It is Dixon.
Dixon?
Yep.
Okay. Great guy. Yeah, Archie Manning helped facilitate. He and Archie had become good friends, and Archie helped me to facilitate that meeting. I ended up having lunch with him because we were trying to get the top like top 100 donors list from Tulane, just in case this Mississippi company came out of the ground with the condos, so that we could identify, because Tulane people scatter all over the country, okay? And so that we could, try to bird dog some people and sell the pre-sale. You know what everybody wants to do when you're selling condos, right? You want to pre-sell them. And he was so nice. And then Rick Jones took me down on that brand new Tulane field, and he never really recovered from Katrina. They were number one in the country. Basically, they were the number one team in the country when Katrina hit. But anyway, Jake Gautreaux played there and went to the College World Series, I think, in 2001, and then was a first-round pick by the New York Yankees. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We're driven by your next Ford Expedition, Ford Explorer, Mack Hike Ford, I-55 North in Jackson. I hope you had a great weekend. Jackson, tell us about Travis Tritt at the Brandon Amphitheater. We talked a little bit about him earlier. Sold over 30 million albums. This guy is a legendary country music singer. And was it packed?
Packed.
That's a rhetorical question. A country music singer in Brandon, Mississippi? Hell yeah, it was packed. But anyway, how was it? Did you, because that place is so nice.
Oh,
it's so pretty.
Rules. It rules. It's phenomenal. But obviously, that's not, when you think about me going to a concert or a show, Travis Tritt didn't come into mind.
Right.
He's not. But that's the reason.
You're usually going to Humphreys.
Yeah, we're going.
Or Fish or Widespread.
Absolutely. Go see Panic.
But Travis has got a little bit of that in him.
He's got a little renegade in him, man.
That's right.
It was really good.
I want those guys to have spurs on the back of their cowboy boots. How cool would that be when you're playing up on stage?
I only know one person that wears them. He's the coolest guy I know.
Okay.
He's cool. He actually lives down the road.
Cool.
Yeah, obviously me not wearing boots.
Right.
Ought to be
you were wearing Jordans?
Got J's on, of course.
Okay.
And
what kind of Jordans?
Jordan 11s.
Jordan 11s.
Full gray 11s. It was a good day.
Okay.
It was a good day. They I felt like I needed to broaden my horizons.
Okay.
I needed to stretch it out. See where the range really went. And
did you go with your dad?
Actually went with my girlfriend. We went and had a good time. Yeah.
Did she enjoy it?
She loved it. It was a good time.
Good.
I'm telling you, I was astonished. I don't know why. I was astonished that he was moving that way he was moving.
I don't care if you're at Mudbugs on a Saturday afternoon or, Shuckers or at the Brandon Amphitheater. There's live music makes you feel awesome. It's just something about it. We've had musicians in this studio, really good ones too. So
I think Van Morrison said it. You can't dance to stay uptight. It's a supernatural delight. Dancing in the moonlight. That's what he said. It's a great song. But he's right. When you hear live music, you're gonna dance eventually, and you can't. I've never seen somebody frown and dance at the same time.
And see, you're a happy-go-lucky person.
Sure.
So
I don't have time to do.
Did you dance a little bit?
Yeah, we moved. I moved. I had intense workout. The day before it, so I was tired.
You weren't working out.
I was gonna see if you were gonna at least buy it for half a second.
You weren't working out.
Yeah, that didn't work.
All right. So Travis Tritt is from Marietta, Georgia.
Marietta.
Did y'all know that?
He mentioned about.
I bet he's a Georgia Bulldog.
I would assume
because I see Derek's got his Georgia Bulldog hat on this morning.
That's his fault.
Yeah. So he's Carson Beck, Kirby Smart.
Ugh.
Now Muschamp's not even on the field anymore. He's like, I've already done what I need to do here. I'm just going to be an analyst. Seriously. Muschamp gave up look, if I'd already been paid out $30 million from Florida and South Carolina, I wouldn't have Kirby Smart, even though he's one of my best friends, barking at me in the morning about what I need, getting on the phone with a junior in high school and selling him. I don't know how much Georgia has to sell anymore, but selling him on coming to the University of Georgia.
I think not.
I'm touring with Travis Tritt.
Yeah,
if I'm Will Muschamp, right?
But he's gotten paid out from.
I got $30 million in the bank. Matt Luke is the offensive line coach at Clemson. He's got $20 million in the bank. Dabo's asking him for his list this morning. How many juniors are you ringing up and calling? How many handlers are you talking to today? How many street agents? How much money do we need from the collective? you're competing against Georgia, Bama, others, Tennessee on offensive linemen all over the Southeast. Matt Luke is grinding in the Clemson football office this morning.
With 8 figures.
With 8 figures.
That's incredible. I don't know if that says more about him or me, but I ain't doing it.
I'm not. You would. A friend of mine has a great quote. If I had that money, you wouldn't be able to find me. You wouldn't know where I was.
No, ever. It'd be done.
I mean, and look, Wendy can get lost easily. So that wouldn't be a problem for her. But, I mean, come on. You got $30 million in the bank? You wouldn't know where I was.
No.
Ever.
Where would you?
I don't know what spot. I mean, it's probably down to 3 or 4.
Yeah, you'd be tucked away in a little condo somewhere with a nice little beach access.
I mean, it just...
You're on the water, though.
Changed my name, Social Security, everything.
They give out, I'm pretty sure they give out new Social Security cards down at the gas station down the street.
They probably do. By the way, Beagle Bagel's looking for people to work. Mark and Sally are amazing people.
They rule.
And they lost 3 people over the weekend and had one of the biggest weekends they've ever had. So the place is amazing. They're wonderful people. If you're looking for a job, but I guess summer's here. If you're looking for part-time summer, Mark and Sally are awesome people to work for. So Beagle Bagel in Madison. I just went downstairs. It smells amazing in there. They were bringing out food left and right. Jackson usually smashes at least 2 cinnamon rolls a week.
Yeah, I'm going down.
Derek's going to have to stay away. Those cinnamon rolls have, they have magic in them.
Oh my
it's the elixir.
It is an elixir.
It's like college football recruiting in the portal. It's like high school recruiting for Kirby and portal recruiting for Kiffin. It's the elixir. Cinnamon rolls at Beagle Bagel in Madison.
It is an elixir for them. That's dang good.
And it's like Justin Parker for Chris Lemonis.
How about that?
He's the elixir, right? This guy's punching his ticket to an NCAA regional unless, all the wheels fall off. Chris Lemonis is going to go to the postseason. Everybody's going to exhale, settle down a little bit, and allow this program to start to do what it does, which is what for the last 45 years. What did they say on the broadcast over the I didn't even think about it. The last 6 decades, they've been to the CWS.
Dang. Oh, that's...
Okay, so what does this program do? It wins. It wins big in the postseason. And, it ripped off 4 College World Series between 2013 and 2021, played for 2 national championships, right?
Yeah.
And on opening day, Major League Baseball this year, where did they rank as far as players on rosters in the SEC? So, and did you see, Jackson and Derek, what MLB dropped? Their social media account? MLB, 9.8 million followers on Facebook, 10 million plus on Instagram, dropped a video of the Mississippi State baseball facility and stadium.
How about that?
Did you see the numbers underneath it as far as people that watched it on all 3 platforms? Staggering. MLB, the Major League Baseball account, dropped a video on the Mississippi State baseball stadium and facility and took you underneath it to see everything. 10 million followers on Facebook, over 10 million on Instagram, and I can't remember how many were on TikTok. And on Twitter, they've got an unbelievable amount of followers. That was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
It was well done. I guess Lemonis and Gotro, they got a player to do I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know which player it was, but they got a player to do the tour for, I guess, some MLB representatives or people who run their production social media company, I'm guessing. And I thought it was well done. And it looks great. Unbelievable exposure.
Who
Millions.
Facilitated that?
I don't know who in the MSU athletic department. I don't know what the tie was. There's so many ties between MSU and MLB. Right. I mean, think about it. Pat McMahon is head of international scouting for the New York Yankees. Buck Showalter's been a manager for the Yankees, the Diamondbacks, the Orioles, and the Mets. And the list goes on and on.
It's not like you have a flurry
Bo,
of players.
what's his name, out of Nashville's one of the big agents. He's had Raffy, Will, Hunter, Freight, all the guys that have gone through over the years. I can't remember his last name, but he's an MSU alum that was, I think, maybe trainer or manager under Polk during some of the glory days with Brantley and Raffy and Will and Thigpen. I think that's right. And he lives in Nashville. His first name's Bo, but I know a listener. We've got many listeners who know him. The Ag Up Equipment text line, 601-885-3776, driven by your next John Deere tractor. From any Ag Up Equipment dealership, we'll have Jake Gotro, the hitting coach, recruiting. Who was the lead dog on Mershon? Gotro. Who was the lead dog on Stevens in California? Gotro. Dakota Jordan, Hunter Hines. There's a long list of guys that Gotro has been able to bring in. So he'll join us at 8:30. And we haven't had Gotro since 2021 College World Series run. Now, there hadn't been a lot to cheer about in 22 and 23, but they have turned the corner. And as of today, they are 28th in the net rankings. They moved up 12 spots. Ole Miss is 27th. And Mississippi State has 12 conference wins with 9 games left. What can they do? 3-6 is 15 conference wins. 4-5 is 16 conference wins. And if you turn it on this 9-game stretch, 5-4 is 17-13.
Yeah, that's host.
Yeah.
All day.
So now people are talking about not just being a really strong road seed, but can you make some magic happen? Now, look, Bama's good. Look at what some of their guys did over the weekend to Ole Miss. They've got some good players. They really, really do. And some really good pitchers. Bama's turned that program around. All right? Arkansas at Arkansas. You know what that's all about. That's not a gimme, right? They've got 16 conference wins, and they're 37-7. They're number 2 in net rankings behind A&M. They're filthy. 37. We talk about Van Horn all the time. He is the best coach without a national championship, and he's better than many that have one. And then you got Missouri, who is 6-15. So you're going to have to make some hay in that last one, just in case you trip up a little bit on the way. Now, you may roll because you got Steven and Sanja pitching well, but all of a sudden you dropped Auger on Saturday, and he threw really, really well for you. You got to be excited about that because Parker's just trying to piece together that bullpen. And, and he's doing a really good – it's not like you don't have a thoroughbred, but you got some talent. But he's trying to piece that together, and he's doing a phenomenal job. And then Hunter Hines from Madison just put on a clinic over the weekend. Now, so did some other guys. Hysack was good. Mershon got a clutch hit yesterday, well, among other at-bats. Over the weekend. So some things lined up, and we'll see where this leads. I thought we were going totally football, and Lane Train and Ole Miss and all the expectations there, and then some of the recruiting that they did over the weekend. And then now the excitement over Levy and Shapen. Jeff Levy compared Blake Shapen to Matt Corral. What in the world is going on? This is getting wild. Starkville, they haven't had a dual threat playmaker in a long time in Starkville. Dak became one. He was unbelievable his junior and senior year throwing the football, right?
Yeah.
And but Mullen kind of dialed it back running. Lane has relied heavily on Dart and Corral to run the football, and they have been very fortunate not to get. They've been banged up, but so was Dak, but banged up, but not out for any kind of time. All three tough as nails. But now this Blake Shapen, I'm listening to Cole Kubelik. I'm going, what's going on here? So, because he's not a Hail State homer like me. He's talking about that Shapen can rip it. This kid can rip the football. Ole Miss has been going on this unbelievable run of quarterback play. Mississippi State kind of took it for a while. And then, just went through coach. And Levy is is running, Levy and Kiffin are running, for the most part, the same offense. Heupel, Kiffin, Levy, Browse, y'all know the drill. All over the Big 12, right? And, Derek's Georgia Bulldogs don't have to run that. They can run slow. They can pound you. They got the number one offensive line in the country. They'll just mash, do what they want, play action, run it 7 times, so on. Others, you got to rip it, right? You got to spread it out. Jackson Dart's got – Carson Beck doesn't have to get lit up 22 times a game.
If two.
Right. Jackson Dart was an absolute beast last year. And, I mean, he got lit up. He would go out maybe for one play. The toughness component from Dak, Fitz, Corral, and Dart is off the charts. Off the charts, the way those guys got snot bubbled every third play in the SEC. Because you have to carry your team when you're at programs like that. You have to do it all. We talk about it all the time. You got to park everybody's car. You got to sell concessions. You got to score 3 touchdowns. Almost be flawless to win.
Those extra 3 or 4 yards at the end of the play that you have to get.
Exactly.
That they don't really have to get.
Right.
I mean, they can just,
right.
I'm not going to put my body
if
on
Carson,
the line.
You just nailed it. If he's flushed out of the pocket, he can run a little bit, slide.
Yeah.
And then hand it to a 5-star running back the next play, and they rip off 8 yards. In Starkville, Oxford, Fayetteville, Columbia, Auburn, other spots, you got to have a dude who can tuck it and go get what you just said. You just framed it up really well. Those last 3 or 4 yards to move the chains, which in turn you're putting your body on the line. All right. Which is what Jackson Meadows did left and right in high school.
I mean, literally on 8-man football, laying folks out there.
I mean, you were 6'4".
Coming over the middle. Come on.
How many touchdowns did you score your senior year?
Oh, about 12, 13, I think.
That's that's pretty damn good.
Well, I mean, not for 8-man football. It's not.
Oh, it's not?
Oh, you're supposed to have 8 a game.
Oh,
yeah, but
man, I was trying to
I know. I
appreciate you up.
I appreciate it. It was at least 1 a game, which was nice. So it was, but
Did you catch a bunch?
Caught a couple, threw a bunch.
Ran a couple?
Ran a few in.
Did they let you run an 8-man?
I hit a bootleg. I hit a quarterback bootleg.
Wow.
Slowest bootleg I've ever seen. Hit a spin move.
I wonder if Kiffin's
nice.
going to do a bootleg with Dart. He doesn't need to, actually. Now, Mississippi State may have to do a lot of, wrinkles and not smoke and mirrors, but a lot of, crazy stuff.
You think about a really good bootleg, you see the fake and everything. The whole team goes one way and the quarterback's gone. Well, you only got to fake 7 other people out there. They're going to go.
And they just have a Georgia jersey on.
I mean, then they're really gone.
Zeke Elliott to the Cowboys. This is the difference maker they were looking for. The Super Bowl Express starts today in Dallas. Zeke Elliott is now a Dallas Cowboy again. We are the Out of Bounds Show. We're brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. As Jake Mangum says, go local, go with the home team. Bundle your car and home and save with your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Jake Gotro, 8:30.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
Are you ready? Yes!
Now live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the BankPlus studio.
You are listening to
Mississippi's #1 sports talk show, The Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Streaming worldwide live on the Out of Bounds radio app and on your radio at ESPN 105.9. The Zone.
Jackson Meadows went to the Travis Tritt concert on Saturday at the Brandon Amphitheater. Wonderful place, wonderful venue. Glad that Jackson had a good time. Boot Scoot Boogie. I don't think he sang that song, but
close enough.
It's just something that came to my mind.
He did cover a Charlie Daniels song.
That's awesome. And Charlie Daniels passed away last year. Maybe the year before, but last year. Okay. Well, good. The Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone ESPN. Brought to you by our friends at Kessler Prime and the Renaissance. Let's go with the rack of lamb this week. Maybe rare to medium rare. I'd sear it a little bit and do a side of bacon wrapped shrimp. They call it something fancy, called shrimp Lujan. Shrimp Lujan. Pair it with some good bourbon. The official bourbon of the Out of Bounds Show is Wilderness Trail Bourbon. Wilderness Trail Bourbon. You can go to KesslerPrime.com to make a reservation. Don't forget that Nate Dogg has Wilderness Trail Barrel Select. That's right. He's got a private barrel selection, Wilderness Trail Weeded at Briarwood Wine and Spirits. It is delicious. We bought a few cases for gifts. Wilderness Trail Bourbon. Private barrel selection bottles at Briarwood, 4949 Old Canton Road. We're streaming live on thezone1059.com. And the Out of Bounds radio app will have Jake Gautreaux at 8:30. Steve Robertson at 9:30. Gautreaux at 8:30 with Mississippi. He's, for our listeners, he's the Hail State hitting coach, recruiter. And he will join us at 8:30 on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. So it's been a while since Gautreaux joined us, and we'll talk about that. You know, them taking 2 or 3 from Vanderbilt, putting themselves in good position to make the postseason. Now, could they host? Still got work to do, but it is a possibility. All right?
It's a favorite.
Yeah, I mean, you got 9 games left.
It's a favorite, man. Especially within the fan base, obviously. But and I'm talking about heavy, obviously, within the fan base. But outside of it, still a favorite.
Yeah.
May not be a heavy one, but you feel like if you're going to put money on it, it's going to be favored.
And you would put money on it.
I mean, I would actually take this one to speak a bet. I would have taken it back when.
Were you like betting on what song Travis Tritt would play next?
Look, if they had it
on Saturday night.
Oh man,
because I have buddies like that. No, I mean we'll be on a guy's trip. We'll be sitting at a restaurant, and they'll be betting on like if a male or a female is going to walk around the bar.
Love that.
Now, I mean it's incredible.
Yeah, $5.
Yeah,
quick.
Yeah,
easy 5.
Brunette or blonde. I mean it's nonstop.
I love that.
Yeah,
I mean that's great. You know, some of these guys.
I mean they bet one guy whether or not he could race beside our car and run 17 miles per hour. So we're all at this point, we're 49 years old. We're in Alice Beach, which is kind of the Ritz. Oh. It's way over our skis.
It's ritzy.
So we hit the Citizen, have some drinks, have a big lunch. And one of my buddies gets outside of the SUV and runs down 30A. And we're videoing it. There's cash going in the car.
Nice.
And somebody's timing him, and we're trying to figure out if he can run faster than 17 miles per hour. Is that a bunch of just people that, what is going on?
The man's not running 7 miles an hour.
Yeah. 17 miles per hour.
That's incredible. He's getting burnt. It's an easy loss. It's good money. It's easy money.
And I'm just glad he didn't pop his ACL or his Achilles.
Fall.
And this guy's in good shape. It's Jeff Norris. He was my first co-host on the show. Jeff Norris got outside of an SUV and raced against the SUV. in Alice Beach.
What is it, man?
This is not what people do there.
No.
I mean, they just rolled out some condominiums. The 2-bedrooms start at $5.8 million.
Yeah. It's small.
I mean, these are people who think they're pretty, hoity-toity, high society. We just went in the Citizens, smashed like 7 dozen oysters, had a bunch of Stellas. This guy's outside the SUV trying to see if he can run 17 miles per hour.
No.
Well, there was a big debate in the car. Nobody could ever settle on whether he did or didn't run 17 miles per hour. Because somebody had run, was it Dart that had run 20 or Judd? We had watched it, so we were down there for a football weekend, but the weekend before, maybe Dart or Judkins had been timed.
No way.
No, maybe it was someone else on the team. Somebody had gotten up to 21 or 22 miles per hour the weekend before.
What?
Okay.
Yeah. Bolt is 23 miles an hour.
Okay, well, never mind. Then maybe Judkins had hit 21 or something. I don't remember. Or
your average.
anyway, there was this debate in the car. A football player, I thought it was from Ole Miss, may have been from somewhere else, had hit a certain mile per hour the weekend before. And so the debate starting when we got on the plane, went to lunch, then, and I just wish we should all be like VIP members of Alice Beach for doing this. Because if they think their wine and food festival is entertaining,
just wait.
and I've been, they don't have anything on us on this guy's trip trying to see if one of our buddies at 49 years old can run. I don't remember what. I think it was 17 miles per hour.
Sounds about right.
And maybe that's what Judkins had ripped off. Maybe he had gone 17. He had broken through the line and run 17 miles per hour against somebody the week before, or gotten up to. Because now we're all into velo.
Right.
And the exit velo of baseballs going out of the stadium, and now we're all in. They can y'all know the drill. They shadow them on the red zone and everywhere else on Sundays and Saturdays. How fast Tyreek Hill is at maximum speed.
Right.
Like he catches it, but then once he turns on the burner jets. So, yeah,
it's a good text right here.
This guy says Matt Corral hit 22 miles per hour in a game.
It's going to be a different 22 miles per hour than we're thinking of. It's got to be.
Okay.
It's got to be.
This was this past year, so that wasn't Corral, but I don't remember who did it.
I mean,
Tulu Griffin?
That's flying.
Who got drafted picked up by the Las Vegas Raiders over the weekend. When he got rolling, that dude was booking it. I don't remember how many special teams touchdowns he had, but it was 4 or 5 over the course of his career. Raiders love speed, so they picked up Tulu. Maybe he'll make the team.
Brock Bowers as well.
Wasted. Brock Bowers. We talked to Steve Palazzolo of Pro Football Focus about him last week, Tom Luganbill last week, and Mike Detillier about Brock Bowers. He's my favorite player. He and Marvin Harrison, favorite player in the draft. The guy, Gardner Minshew, is going to love him. Yeah. Now, I don't know what the Raiders are going to do in the future at QB, but I'm a Minshew homer. And the bottom line is Devontae Adams still has some juice left. Then you drop Brock Bowers running around, and they've got another dude who's a baller. I can't remember his name. And they got some weapons. Minshew didn't have any weapons with the Jaguars. He got thrown into the mix with the Colts.
Yeah, didn't have weapons there either.
I mean,
No,
he didn't have Devontae Adams healthy, which I think that'll line up for at least 1 or 2 more years.
He didn't have him hurt.
And Brock Bowers as an absolute dude. I mean, Bowers is going to be special.
Cerebral.
Special.
Smart man. Average human sprint speed.
Okay.
14.2 miles an hour.
Do you think you could hit 14.2 today?
Oh, yeah. Pendulum legs, they'll get rolling.
Yeah.
That's all enough to
you
get
do
rolling.
have long legs.
It's all enough to get there. I don't know if I'm on,
You're kind of gangly, though.
Gangly, for sure.
Does that make sense? Like sometimes you're coming in, your arms here, your other arms, legs over here. Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay.
Gangly, I like that.
All right. Wilderness Trail Bourbon Private Barrel Selection bottles. Barrel Select bottles. Nate and his crew, Nate and Jimmy went up and picked them out. Wilderness Trail Bourbon, the weeded bourbon, Private Barrel Selection. They have it at Briarwood Wine and Spirits. We're going up in July to pick out another barrel of Wilderness Trail and Russell's Reserve. Back in a second, Jake Gautreaux at 8:30.